evening, ladies and gentlemen. After a historic mandate in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today declared his future की बात. ये दिल मांगे मोर, ये तो अभी हमारा तीसरा टर्म ही है. This is Modi's just third term only. A loud and clear message for those who became friends with benefits to defeat Modi just a few months ago, but are not even able to see each other eye to eye today. It was a no-holds-barred attack on the Gandhis, Arvind Kejriwal and the self-proclaimed Samvidhan Crusaders. Prime Minister was replying to the motion of thanks to the President's address in Lok Sabha, which was deemed boring by the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi. The same address after which his mother, Congress senior leader Sonia Gandhi, who virtually many say insulted the president with her poor lady remark. Unlike Rahul Gandhi's speech yesterday, Prime Minister Modi's address today was based on facts, a sankalp for Viksit Bharat and some hard-hitting questions for the Gandhi Parivar. Watch how Prime Minister Modi crushed जहर की राजनीति.
जाति की बातें करना कुछ लोगों के लिए फैशन बन गई है. सदन में आने वाले ओबीसी समाज के सांसद 30-35 साल से मांग कर रहे थे कि ओबीसी कमीशन को संवैधानिक दर्जा दिया जाए. ये हम हैं जिन्होंने ओबीसी समाज को संवैधानिक दर्जा दिया. कोई मुझे बताएं, क्या एक ही समय में संसद में एससी वर्ग के एक ही परिवार के 3 सांसद कभी हुए हैं क्या? आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, कुछ लोगों की वाणी और व्यवहार में कितना फर्क होता है, मेरे एक सवाल के जवाब में मिला. ये तो अभी हमारी तीसरी ही टर्म है. कुछ नेताओं का फोकस घरों में जकूजी पर, स्टाइलिश शावर्स पर, लेकिन उन पैसा का उपयोग हमने शीश महल बनाने के लिए नहीं किया. इसका उपयोग हमने देश बनाने के लिए किया. गरीबों की झोपड़ियों में फोटो सेशन कराकर अपना मनोरंजन करते रहते हैं. उन्हें संसद में गरीबों की बात बोरिंग ही लगेगी. कुछ लोगों को लगता है जब तक फॉरेन पॉलिसी नहीं बोलते तब तक वो मैच्योर नहीं लगते, इसलिए उनको लगता है फॉरेन पॉलिसी तो बोलना चाहिए, फिर भले ही देश का नुकसान हो जाए. अगर उन्हें सच में फॉरेन पॉलिसी सब्जेक्ट में रुचि है और फॉरेन पॉलिसी को समझना है, तो मैं ऐसे लोगों को कहूंगा एक किताब जरूर पढ़े. वो किताब का नाम है JF केस फॉरगॉटन क्राइसिस. एक महिला राष्ट्रपति जी क्या क्या कहकर उनको अपमानित किया जा रहा है. मैं राजनीतिक हताशा निराशा समझ सकता हूं, लेकिन एक राष्ट्रपति के खिलाफ क्या कारण है? क्या कारण है? और अरमान नक्सल जिन बातों को बोलते हैं, इंडियन स्टेट के सामने मोर्चा लेना, ये अरमान नक्सल की भाषा बोलने वाले, इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ाई की घोषणा करने वाले न संविधान को समझ सकते हैं, न देश की एकता को समझ सकते हैं.
ladies and gentlemen, the Motorola legitimate question that we're asking on the news hour tonight. Is the opposition still recovering from the 2024 drubbing as Prime Minister Modi eyes 2029? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining the debate tonight, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, making an appearance on the news hour after a very long time. Welcome, Gaurav. Also joining me tonight, Deepak Reddy, national spokesperson of the TDP. Amit Jamai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, also joins the show, as does Priyanka Kakkar, chief national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. But my first question goes to Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, supporter of the Congress, political analyst. And Tehseen Poonawalla, तीसरी ही term है. Are Congress leaders able to breathe normally? Because this one clarion call can make many nervous. On top of that, the Prime Minister has given a report card. Really, the questions raised by the Prime Minister hit home all the time. Caste, caste, caste. Please answer one question, the moot question that the Prime Minister raised today. Tell me, when is the last time the Congress party actually fought to get 3 members of a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe family into parliament? Sonia Gandhi in Rajya Sabha, Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi in Lok Sabha. Tell me one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe family from where the Congress party has fielded 3 members in parliament.
Thank you so much, Navika ji, for having me on the show. The Honorable Prime Minister gave a clarion call for the third tenure of his, the fourth tenure of his after the third tenure that gets over.
You're losing count.
No, I'm not losing count, and I wish him all the best. But the same clarion call he gave, up ki bar, 400 bar, standing in that parliament only, and he said, "Main akela sab pe bhari," while his own MPs were clapping that he didn't really think about them. It was he alone. And he didn't get a majority. And I do agree he came to power the third time, and I do congratulate him for this. But he's making that same mistake because the people of India do not like arrogance. That's what our democracy is about. So if he believes he's going to get a fourth term and he's going to make a clarion call, all the best to the Prime Minister. He's making that same mistake again and moving away from the majority, this time away from the government. But let me answer your specific question on caste. The question simply is, there was a caste census conducted in 2011. Rajnath Singh ji, the late Arun Jaitley ji, and Amit Shah ji have said repeatedly on the floor of the House that that caste census, after errors are removed, will be released post 2014. 10 plus years of this government, now running into its 12th year actually. Where is that caste census? Why are you not releasing it? Just give us the data. If the Congress party or the India Alliance is asking for a caste census, and that is dividing India, was Arun Jaitley ji, the late Arun Jaitley ji, Amit Shah ji and Rajnath Singh ji dividing India? Is the BJP today saying that they are against a caste census? And if they are not against a caste census, do not divert the topic to Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi. The people who are in power tell us when the caste census data will be released. The Congress did one caste survey in Telangana, they released it. They did one in Bihar. They are not in government now, but it got released. The BJP obviously is not implementing the recommendations of that. Why isn't the BJP releasing the caste census and conducting
Okay, Telangana, you have a caste survey.
Yeah,
follow the caste survey. How many OBCs are in the cabinet in Telangana? Would you like to count?
I would. Thank you. The Deputy Chief Minister, not many know, is a Dalit. However, it's just released on Saturday, and as Rahul Gandhi ji said, it will be implemented immediately. But here's my question. How many Dalit or OBC presidents has the BJP had, except once, and he was treated badly? None has the RSS has had, and the RSS will never have it. They are anti-Dalit and they are anti-OBC. Well, they may give positions, I don't deny it, but the BJP will never have an OBC or Dalit president. Neither will the RSS have a Dalit or OBC.
They have an OBC Prime Minister.
We are talking about the organization.
Tehseen Poonawalla. You know, it is such a facile argument. But Gaurav Bhatia, please respond to Tehseen.
So, first of all, you know, from the pessimistic outlook, all riddled with lies, propaganda and deceit, which Rahul Gandhi was trying to project and was trying to show India in poor light, today, I think, was one of the best speeches given by the Honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji. It made me feel very positive, very optimistic about our Bharat and India. And Navika, after hearing him, I felt proud. I felt proud for the reason that the arrogance of Rahul Gandhi was destroyed by sheer vision that Narendra Modi ji has for our country, with numbers, with inclusivity for all, women, also students. He spoke about employment, he spoke about foreign relations, and in today's discussion, Navika, I love to be on your show. It's just that there are other commitments, so I'm not able to come as often as I want to be. But I would like to first take forward what Narendra Modi ji started on the floor of the House. First, let's discuss the lies, the deceit, and the propaganda of Rahul Gandhi. The first is Rahul Gandhi, in his speech, raising the Maharashtra voters have been added, gave a bogus number of 70 lakhs. Now, there is a press release of the Election Commission of India which says this is around 40 lakh. So, Rahul Gandhi today, as a leader of opposition, he is a very immature, irresponsible, part-time leader of opposition. But as a citizen, I demand he should come forward and he should tell the people where did he get this number of 70 lakh from. Second lie, he on the China issue, forgetting that it was Chacha Nehru who gave away 43,000 square kilometers of Indian land to China. He forgot that he was the one who signed a memorandum of understanding party to party when they were in power. He forgot that he has taken bribe of more than 1 crore rupees from China CCP party, and he is questioning on China. So I want to ask Rahul Gandhi, when did our army chief say that China has occupied our additional land from the one which was ceded by Jawaharlal Nehru under the tenure of Narendra Modi ji? I don't think there is a statement, but I challenge Tehseen. Third lies, he spoke about the election commissioner's appointment. He forgot to mention that during the time of the Congress party, Sonia Gandhi alone, as the UPA chairperson, could appoint a chief election commissioner, did not even care to consult the Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji. But now there is a collegium system, and I have the Supreme Court judgment with me, which clearly stated that we are constituting a collegium which would have Prime Minister, which would have a leader of opposition and the Chief Justice of India. Till law is made, because there was a vacuum. Law has been made, para number 315. Now I ask Rahul Gandhi, why was he deceiving the people of India? Why has he not read the Supreme Court judgment? Why doesn't he talk about the Congress's legacy of destroying the Constitution with impunity? All these are questions that are being asked, and I don't think Rahul Gandhi will ever muster the courage. Maybe Tehseen Poonawala will, so we should get these answers from him.
Well, Tehseen, I'll come back to you, but let me get in Priyanka Kakkar. No, I'll come to a substantive part. I'll come to the substantive part. There are many more issues in the debate, but Priyanka Kakkar, the Prime Minister today made no bones, took on Arvind Kejriwal as well. Didn't name him, but talked about Sheesh Mahal, talked about jacuzzis, talked about, various things. And the important point that he made, that just talking about the poor in this country is not enough. Because when the president was speaking about the poor, outlining the policies for the poor that were made, Mr. Rahul Gandhi found the speech boring. He also talked about Har Ghar Jal Hum Pahunchate Hain, whereas some people are talking about jacuzzis. Direct attack, your response.
Good evening, Navika ji. One, I would say that Pradhan Mantri Modi said nothing new. He's gone back to his same old rhetoric. वो सड़क पे भी गालियां निकाल रहे हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को, और आज सांसद में भी नहीं उन्होंने यही किया. It was very unfortunate that he's talking about people living in the Jhuggi clusters and talking about them in such a way as if he's done a lot. 3 lakh Jhuggiwalas were displaced by the BJP in the past 1 year, and they're all fighting in the court. And Arvind Kejriwal ji had challenged that BJP should withdraw those cases. and he will not contest. This was a direct challenge, but he will go to the parliament and lie there too. That is what the PM Modi did today. I should also tell you one more thing. It's a very important issue, and I have this opportunity on national TV through your show to tell everyone to go on Arvind Kejriwalji's Twitter account. He's right now posted a video of how BJP netas are going into these jhuggi clusters. इंक लगा रहे हैं वो वहां पे ऑलरेडी वोट की, एंड द पुलिस इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग मनी ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ बीजेपी फॉर दिस करप्ट illegal activity.
That's a huge charge. Is there any evidence? Is there any evidence, Priyanka ji?
Yes, there's a video. Yes, there's a video he has posted with it. That is why I'm attracting everyone's attention to that Twitter handle right now of Arvind Kejriwal ji. 6 minutes ago, this video has been posted. So if this is what BJP is doing, इतनी बौखलाई हुई पार्टी, इनके पास कोई एजेंडा नहीं है, संसद के अंदर भी झूठ बोलते हैं. And since you were talking about reservation and caste, I should also tell you that BJP's Pradesh Sachiv Nokaban Prajapati, she has said in so many words, आरक्षण सरदर्द बन गया है. She has said in so many words, 400 आए नहीं तो हमें रिजर्वेशन खत्म करनी थी. तो इन दोगले लोगों की, दो मुंहे सांपों की बातों में नहीं आना. राक्षस प्रवृत्ति के लोग है भाजपाई. No, I have not finished. राक्षस प्रवृत्ति के लोग है भाजपाई. In Delhi, we have given a model where everybody will save at least 25,000 per month, and our upcoming schemes you will save 10,000 more. And we have to all go in large numbers to vote against this corrupt practice that the BJP is doing. We should all go and exercise the right.
Huge charge, Gaurav Bhatia. Though this debate is about the Prime Minister's speech in Parliament, we are back to Delhi elections because it's only elections that matter. Please, your counter.
No, Navika, I will confine myself to the point which would relate to PM speech as well as the Delhi elections. The AAP spokesperson was talking about दो मुंहा साहब. दिल्ली की जनता किसको 10 मुंहा रावण बुला रही है? लेट मी टेल यू. 10 मुंहा रावण है अरविंद केजरीवाल. ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसे इस 10 मुंहे सांप ने डसा नहीं. क्यों कहता हूं? आई टेल यू. When we talk about झुग्गी,
के अलावा दो कुछ
झुग्गी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी mentioned how to the poor. Can I complete my point? Navika, you'll have to regulate the debate. These people don't do their homework, then they interrupt.
Yeah.
So Narendra Modi ji gave a number, 4 crore houses for the poor. Now read the manifesto of the Aam Aadmi Party. It said last time, jahan jhuggi wahi makan. Arvind Kejriwal himself has admitted he has failed to fulfill his promises. Second, Arvind Kejriwal came into active politics on 2 planks. One, destroying, he will eradicate VVIP culture, and 2, he will end corruption. Today, he is an epitome of corruption and he is a symbol of VVIP culture. Sheesh Mahal, Narendra Modi referred to the jacuzzi. People of Delhi are waiting to teach them a lesson tomorrow, and this is a government only for the next 24 hours. The Bharatiya Janata Party will form the government. Third, if video is the proof, I want to ask Arvind Kejriwal, because the spokesperson will not be able to answer. Sahi Ram Pahalwan, their MLA and his assistant Gaurav Bhati, not Gaurav Bhatia, Gaurav Bhati was caught in that video taking cash as bribe, and this is the education model he wanted to teach robotics to all children after accepting bribe, and they have not answered any question. So if video is the proof and evidence, and it means that this is a corrupt person, you need to answer. Why was Sahi Ram Pahalwan then given a ticket? And we have already done a press conference on that. The issue is larger here. The issue is of a constructive treasury bench versus a destructive, and I repeat, destructive opposition which has no agenda but to only criticize and insult constitutional functionaries. Like Sonia Gandhi said, poor lady to the President of India. Narendra Modi ji is called Chaukidar Chor hai. Arvind Kejriwal will call the Home Minister Sabse Bada Gunda. And this shows their frustration. But in democracy, the strongest thrives, the sincerest person thrives, And Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji and the Bharatiya Janata Party has been sincerely working for the people. That is why we are rewarded. And then I repeat, this is only the third term.
Well, before I go to Mr. Deepak Reddy and Ameek Jamai, let me welcome on the show Bruce Riddle, author of JFK's The Forgotten Crisis, the book that was referred to by Prime Minister Modi. He's a former CIA insider. Thank you very much for speaking with me on the News Hour tonight. Are you aware that the Prime Minister of India has referred to your book, JFK's Forgotten Crisis, Tibet, CIA and the Sino-Indian War in Parliament today? What do you make of the situation then? And how did you see the Indian government's position at that time?
Yes, I saw that, thanks to you. And I'm very flattered and very honored.
Well, I also want to ask you, where do you think the former Prime Minister of India, Nehru, made a mistake in his China policy, as you refer to in the book? Was he too naive and trusting of China? Summing up your thoughts towards the end of the book, you have actually complimented Kennedy and his actions in the time of crisis in assisting India. Was Nehru too naive in trusting China to begin with?
I think Nehru, for understandable reasons, wanted to align India with this major new power, China, which was emerging from over a century of civil war and foreign war to be a united power. What he didn't realize was China's aggressive intentions vis-a-vis the border between Tibet and India. And he was, in that sense, too trusting of the Chinese. But he responded quickly once the war began and turned to the United States and the United Kingdom for assistance.
Well, turned to the United States and United Kingdom for assistance in the China war. That's an important point you make. The BJP's spokespersons today are highlighting one excerpt in your book where you write, Kennedy told Galbraith it was the worst state visit of his presidency, and also felt that Nehru seemed more interested in talking with Jackie than with him. For the benefit of our viewers, what is the specific context of Jackie Kennedy, the wife of JFK, and the state visit and the Nehru relationship at that time?
Well, a number of things went wrong on the Nehru visit. The fireplace in the White House was not properly vented, so instead of sending the smoke up, sent it through the house. Nehru seemed disengaged from much of the conversation that Kennedy wanted to have. But these atmospherics should not confuse us from the main point. This was a positive meeting between the heads of the United States and India, and resulted in a relationship that was close enough that when a moment of peril came, the Chinese invasion of India, Nehru felt comfortable going to Kennedy for help.
Well, thank you very much for joining me on the News Hour, and there you have it. The former Prime Minister was disengaged. Is any head of state going to be disengaged at a time when he is meeting another head of state, the President of the United States? You know, that's why the Prime Minister did make a dig at Rahul Gandhi. Just so that you want to sound mature, you don't raise foreign policy matters, Tehseen Poonawalla. Embarrassing?
No. Because if the Honorable Prime Minister's only defense is Nehru in 1962, of course, and I just hope I get the space here. I hope the viewers of Times Now know the same India, which of course had suffered a setback in 1962. We were a new country. In 1967-68, defeated China at Natula and Chola. The same Nehru's daughter. The same Nehru's daughter told the President of America to mind his own business and walked out. And in 14 days created a new country. Never in the history of mankind has a new country been created in modern warfare or in ancient warfare or in any warfare, a new country. This is the same India that this family took ahead. But this is not about that. The BJP spokesperson made a charge on your show. He said Rahul Gandhi ji has taken a bribe. If someone has taken a bribe, It is the duty of the present Indian government to prosecute Rahul Gandhi. Can I have the FIR of the bribe that Rahul Gandhi has taken? Number two, if Rahul Gandhi has taken a bribe, the deficit that Manmohan Singh ji, the greatest Prime Minister India has had in the last 30 years, left India with China's $37.8 billion. Today, last year it crossed $102 billion with China, and this year only till February it's crossed $85 billion our deficit with China. So Rahul Gandhi is taking a bribe, and Prime Minister Modi is raising up the deficit. And one more thing, we paid for Russian oil in Chinese currency. So Rahul Gandhi is taking a bribe, and we are paying for Russian oil in Chinese currency?
Well, I mean, again, unsubstantiated.
No, it's true. I would like to be.
Well, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and the money is a matter of investigation. But I'm coming to you, Gaurav, but let me get in Deepak Reddy.
Can I respond?
Okay, all right.
Please. So, first of all, I exposed Rahul Gandhi. I nailed his 3 lies. First was Army Chief statement on China. Tehseen didn't answer anything, so Rahul Gandhi is a liar. Second, I spoke about the increase in Maharashtra voters, and Election Commission of India had released the data. Rahul Gandhi again proved to be spreading falsehood. Tehseen doesn't revert. Second lie. Third, Election Commissioner's appointment, Supreme Court para 315, which gives the power to the government to enact laws, and then the collegium would be changed. Tehseen doesn't reply, but I will reply to him. I spoke about Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Tehseen turned it into Rahul Gandhi accepting bribe. But Rahul Gandhi needs to also answer the MOU that he has signed, Tehseen. As a citizen, I have the right to know. What was written in that MOU? Can you please use your, August office and your relationship with Rahul Gandhi and ask him to disclose it to the people of the country? And on caste, let me tell you, the caste census was conducted in 2011. For 3 years, Congress was in power. P. Chidambaram opposed, Veerappa Moily opposed the releasing of the data pertaining to the OBC. And you come here and you ask us, why didn't they release? Because they felt that it is detrimental for India. And last but not the least, Karnataka survey. It has been 8 years, 9 years. It was done. Why has Siddaramaiah government not released that? Do you have any answers? I challenge you.
Absolutely.
I challenge you if you can even answer one of the questions.
Too many questions there. Just too many questions there. And the issue on caste census, the issue on Karnataka and Telangana caste surveys hangs out there. And Deepak Reddy, I want to know from you, Rahul Gandhi's doublespeak. Not following what he preaches to the world, the own record of the Congress party on many of these things, including foreign policy, where he's been completely hammered by both the External Affairs Minister and the Defense Minister. Where does that take the politics of facts and the politics of fiction?
A very good evening, Navika. If you can give me some time, I would like to totally demolish the lies of Congress party on 3 different areas. First thing is, the Prime Minister has been very, courteous by just saying that any 3 SC, ST, can you show me from members from one family? I would like to take it one step further. Can you show me any SC, STs who are there in politics in a prime post for the last 4 generations? Can you show me any SC, STs who have a monopoly on a political party for time immemorial? And then now let's come to certain remarks what Rahul Gandhi has made. He's talking about China and our land being taken, trying to demoralize the armed forces. I have a straight question. When China walked into Tibet, we were the affected parties. So why didn't the Congress then raise this in the UN and oppose it? And why did the Congress party then send food ration to the Chinese army and supported it? And then 38,000 square kilometers of land was lost. It is clearly known. Now they're trying to deviate from that. And then other one is manufacturing. Rahul Gandhi keeps speaking. The 10 years when Congress was in power during Manmohan Singh time, if you get all the records, Indian industry lost out. Our exports were totally dead, and imports from China have really gone up. You can look at the figures. And now what is interesting is, till today, they don't say what is the secret agreement they have done with the Communist Party. And what is surprising is, during the Galwan crisis, when our soldiers died, Rahul Gandhi goes to Nepal and meets a Chinese lady representative, and the photos were out. He met her in a nightclub, who has a dubious track record of honey trap. So, look at the activity. Yeah. Look at, I mean, the photos were out. The photos were out. If you don't know, you can have a look at it.
No, dude, those were not Rahul. No, dude. You cannot comment. No, Navika, this is.
Let me finish.
I don't know. Honey trap.
For a friend's wedding, you tell any woman you're honey trapping. What rubbish on national TV about the leader of opposition?
Navika, one last.
No, Mr. Deepak, I'm very offended with this. I'm sorry. I've always said
the honey trap evidence will have to be presented. But yes, there were some pictures. There were some pictures with friends. We don't know the details of that meeting.
How dare you speak about any woman like this? Shame on you. Shame on you, and you speak about the leader of opposition this way.
This melodrama doesn't work. The photos were out in the media. If you have no knowledge, you can go and check.
It's very offensive. Navika, do you endorse this?
Of course not. The channel. If there is evidence, Mr. Deepak Reddy, please present. Otherwise, discharge. Any pictures. But let me come back to the book. You raised the issue of China. Let me talk about the book, JFK's Forgotten Crisis, and in the book, it is Mr. Riddle who says that the United States of America and the CIA knew in 1960 that China had plans to attack India. Nehru was oblivious. And then he goes on to write that had Nehru not been so timid and fearful of retaliation against Indian cities but deployed the Indian Air Force, India may have been able to repel or at least withstand the Chinese invasion, an invasion in which we lost a lot of land. So every time that Rahul Gandhi wakes up and asks this question, should questions not be asked of Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself, Amit Jamai? Because these questions were raised by Mulayam Singh Yadav as defense minister and later as a member of parliament in Lok Sabha himself.
देखिए नाविका मैम, जब आप विदेश नीति में बात करेंगी ना, बात बहुत लंबी जाएगी और आपने जितना समय 30 मिनट में 4 बार गौरव भाटिया जी को दिया है, 1.5 मिनट कहूंगा आप मुझे अनइंटरप्टेड दीजिए। आपका सीआईए से बहुत प्रेम है ना, आजकल देश में सीआईए पे बड़ा भरोसा है। यही सीआईए जो 5 आइज कंट्रीज हैं, 5 आइज कंट्री समझती हैं आप? ये कनाडा, अमेरिका, फ्रांस जैसे देश मिलके अपनी साझा जो खुफिया जानकारियां हैं आपस में साझा करते हैं। इसी अमेरिका ने कनाडा को क्या बोला था? हमारे गृह मंत्री जी पर निशाना ठाना। हमने इसका विरोध किया, समाजवादी पार्टी ने विरोध किया। अमेरिका ने कहा कनाडा को कि गृह मंत्री हमारी एम्बेसी कनाडा में और रॉ और उसके बाद एसेसिन, गृह मंत्री कनाडा में अमेरिका में हत्या करवा रहे हैं। यह सीआईए ने बोला। इस सीआईए के बुनियाद पे प्रोग्राम हो रहा है। हम विरोध करते हैं। गृह मंत्री जी हमारे हैं, हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री है, हमारी विचारधारा से टकराव है, हम रोज लड़ेंगे उनसे।
बहुत अच्छी बात है, मंत्री को कोई बहुत अच्छी बात है। तो अमित जमाई, इस देश की राष्ट्रपति हमारी राष्ट्रपति है कि नहीं?
मैं नहीं मानूंगा।
नहीं, राष्ट्रपति हमारे देश की हमारी राष्ट्रपति है कि नहीं? उनको पुअर लेडी कहना सही है? उनको उनका स्पीच पार्लियामेंट में बोरिंग कहना क्या ये सही है?
पे चर्चा करवाएंगी, लंबा जाएगा मामला, लंबा जाएगा चर्चा विदेश नीति पे। मैं यहां सीधे कल की बात करना चाहता हूं कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री कल कुंभ जा रहे हैं। मैं सीधे सीधे ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि मेरे नेता अखिलेश यादव जी ने आज भारत की संसद में कहा कि कुंभ को सेना के हवाले किया जाना चाहिए। कितनी हत्याएं हो गई। कहा गया 100 करोड़ लोगों का इंतजाम है। हमारे मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने कहा 100 करोड़ लोग आएंगे, अमीरों के लिए, वीआईपी के लिए अलग इंतजाम और 90 करोड़ लोगों के लिए अलग इंतजाम। कितने लोग मारे गए? बाप नहीं मिल रहा है, बेटी नहीं मिल रही है, बच्चा नहीं मिल रहा है, मां नहीं मिल रही है, लोग सिसक रहे हैं। और खोया पाया जो केंद्र है, हम ये कह रहे हैं सेना के हवाले करिए। और कल प्रधानमंत्री जी इस बात का विश्वास देश को दिलाएं कि प्रधानमंत्री जब जाएंगे तो उन परिवारों की बात करेंगे। प्रधानमंत्री वहां पे आम आदमी पार्टी के खिलाफ, मिल्कीपुर के चुनाव के खिलाफ कोई भाषण कल वो नहीं देंगे। चुनाव में आचार संहिता चल रही है। प्रधानमंत्री कल सिर्फ इसलिए जा रहे हैं कि ताकि दिल्ली चुनाव का आखिरी भाषण, आखिरी प्रचार कुंभ से हो। हम इसकी घोर घोर मजम्मत करते हैं। अगर प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कल भाषण वहां से
अब
किया, हम
प्रधानमंत्री
चाहते
का
हैं
कुंभ जाना भी चुनाव से लिंक हो गया और क्या बाकी रह गया? गौरव भाटिया प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड।
और देंगे कि नहीं देंगे, गौरव भाटिया आपके जरिए बताए गौरव भाटिया।
गौरव भाटिया, yes, he is responding. Gaurav Bhatia, please respond.
Ask him not to shout first. Be civil. Yes. See, I just feel that the Samajwadi Party spokesperson is inept to debate. He's not even correct on facts. He said 100 crores कहा था योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने, 45 करोड़ कहा था। अभी कल ही इंटरव्यू भी चल रहा था। And we are proud of the fact that this has been the most successful Kumbh ever. But they are anti-Hindu and they continue to indulge in appeasement politics. And why do I say that? Have you heard Jayaprada ji's statement? Have you heard what Akhilesh Yadav is saying? Trying to plant conspiracy theories? I remember, look at the difference in reaction. We lost 30 human lives. And even losing one life is very painful. Yogi Adityanath comes out, takes responsibility. इनको चुप कराइए। नाविका जी, इस तरह से डिबेट मत कराया करिए। देखिए, गवार लोगों को बुलाएंगे, दिस इज रॉन्ग।
Let's not be offensive. He is not saying anything. He is showing his phone. आप बोलिए। You complete your point.
और ये जो झूठ के कुलपति हैं,
ओके,
अखिलेश जी ने कहा ये जो झूठ के कुलपति का कंपटीशन बंद करवाइए आज।
Well, no. 1 minute, Amit Jamai. The issue here is the Prime Minister's speech in Parliament. कैसे विपक्ष इस पूरे डिबेट को सिर्फ पॉलिटिक्स की तरफ, इलेक्शन की तरफ ले जाना चाहता है? इट रियली इज अ आई ओपनर. Ladies and gentlemen, all I want to say today is questions are asked of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister responds to the questions. When we hold a debate on that, issues that are raised are not connected with the speech and the questions raised by the opposition in Parliament. So is Parliament only a showpiece on which taxpayers spend their money? Are questions that have been raised, are questions of abhi to sirf third term, making the opposition absolutely nervous? Why are they running away from the answers to the questions raised by the Prime Minister is the only question people of India are asking tonight. Well, we'll continue to ask these questions because politics hai, elections hai, par sawalon ke jawab kabhi nahi hai. We'll wait and we'll end this debate right here at this point. Continue to ask these questions. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.